Right, the Unleashed Voice magazine is here. It's a location near you. We got them at Side Street, Spin Street, Cafe Eclectic, and many more. Check us out at our new and improved website at www.tuvmag.com for more exclusive content. To sign up for a subscription, which is $4.99 per month. To get your business in the magazine, designer, CEO, models, whatever your trade is, we got the advertising for you. Don't forget, our website is tuvmag.com. And follow us on our social media movements. And we have an Instagram, we got a Twitter, we have the Facebook, so follow us. If you want to donate or be a sponsor to this radio show, get with us. 901, who number is 260-5926? Who number is that?
That's us.
Oh, that's the station. No, don't call that number. Call us, hit me up on Facebook or somewhere.
You can't do live reads no more.
Oh, no, don't call that number. Don't call that number. Ed is not here. Ed is known to do our live read, so that's my live read. We educate and we power and enrich, and we're here with Dr. Black, and he is blowing me away. Ow! I'll be there for you, baby.
Come on, we got to get out last minute here.
Okay, let's go. I love me some Whitney Houston. I got hot sauce in my purse. Okay, so...
Beyonce.
What they get on you.
Okay, we're back. So back to you, Dr. Black. Okay. So
Now we left off with, if you don't make a heaven, you can't get to heaven.
okay, you got it. I got another. Did you finish that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He finished that one. Okay. So
Hold on, I want to talk about that. Give me 1 minute, Dr. Black.
Okay.
So, when you say if you don't make a heaven,
Yes.
you can't get to heaven.
Yes.
Give me a little bit of that.
Meaning, if you don't use your life energy, your life influences, your life power to transform lives, to create excellence on this planet, to make a place where all of us are made better. If your life energy does not create life, then you don't get to enjoy a life in the afterlife. So you get life in order to create life.
So you can't be selfish in life.
You cannot. If you're selfish in life, this is all you get.
Hello, somebody.
So, our motto, one of our mottos with our nonprofit is to make the world better than what we found it.
Sure.
And to leave the world better than we found it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we do now. You know, our social activists with our radio show, magazine, nonprofit. We're always out trying to promote motivation, transformation, spiritual development, spiritual awareness, and bring people up, you know, from where they are and enlighten them and educate. So, and bring people like you and let you do what you do on our platform and spread the wealth and the knowledge. So, I feel good.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So what about, let's talk about the elders and how they taught the people during that time. And you said life and death are twins of the same mother.
Yes.
Explain that.
Yes. Because in life is a series of deaths. In every life, what we're really doing is learning to die. The minute you're born, your death begins. Because really, truly, this life is a process of death. You really don't start living until you die.
Talk black.
Because ultimately, we're trading one life form for another. Right? And so, it's so important that all of us, it's so important that we use our breath, our life energy to transform other lives, because that's how a person earns everlasting life. This is why it's so interesting that Jesus hardly ever preached heaven. Jesus was preaching transformation here.
Hello.
Because this is supposed to be heaven. Heaven is supposed to be the world we make, not some gift God gives us later.
That's why people say life is short. And it's important to be happy, you know, right now while you're living. And why are you in relationships where you're miserable and being abused or abuser?
That's right.
One of the two. Right. And just going through changes and giving your body away. Why are you doing these things?
Right.
You don't understand it.
And that is right. Life is short, but living is long. Because see, we'll live even after we leave these bodies. It is a serious error to conceive of one's total existence only from flesh to flesh. Right? Your life extends into the ether even once we leave this flesh. Right? So that, in fact, in some ways, we're much more powerful outside of this flesh. This flesh is a limitation. This flesh is a prison. This flesh really is simply the means by which we walk this thing called the earth. But see, if we think of it this way, the earth in the larger scheme of things, if you're talking about the larger cosmos, the earth is a dot in the larger cosmos.
Okay.
Right? So is your life. The lifespan that we have, that is a dot in the longer sense of your everlasting life. You lived for eons and millions of years before you were ever born. Mm-hmm. Once you die, you will live for eons more. But the whole point is to shape consciousness in such a way that we get to the place where we honor all life. And the point of honoring all life ultimately is we're trying to figure out exactly what God is. That's the only point of living. The point of the joy of living is to discover the pieces of God. And God is in every life, is in every seashell, is in every mountain, is in every valley, is in the ocean, is in the hills. And so what too many people, especially in America, are trying to do is to figure out what God isn't. And God isn't anything. God is everything.
Come on, Black.
Whatever you can't deal with is the part of God you reject.
I'm finna shot in this studio. Wait a minute, hold on.
Say that again.
Whatever you cannot live with, whatever you reject, is the part of God you can't handle.
Lord have mercy. Because God is everything.
God is everything.
So he's gay people.
Lord have mercy.
God is not just gay people.
But I just threw that out there.
Absolutely.
You know, this is the assault on the LGBT community. And you have so many people that want to use religious texts to demonize, you know, same gender loving people. So
sure. And see, the truth of the matter is the argument is silly. It's as silly as saying that one does not prefer snow on the mountaintop. That's what it does. That's simply what it is. So, you know, this notion of same gender loving people, different loving gender people, really the conversation is elementary. It's like being mad at someone because they prefer McDonald's over Wendy's. The conversation is silly. It's an infantile argument. It's a ridiculous argument, and it's ridiculous because difference is the magnitude of and the majesty of God.
Hello.
It is indifference that is the all people are doing is picking. People are trying to pick which oppression they prefer.
Lord have mercy. Which oppression they prefer? Gosh. Okay, so.
But have you ever noticed?
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
You know, I took philosophy at University of Memphis. I took an entire semester of this guy that absolutely put us to sleep, and he didn't even come close to a fraction of what you're saying.
Wow.
So I just wanted to say it. I mean, I'm college education. I didn't go to Harvard, but anyway, this absolutely blows away some of what I heard in college.
Wow.
Anyway,
yes, sir.
Let me interrupt you. Go ahead.
I'm very humbled. Yes, sir.
But isn't it amazing that as soon as you take that power away from them, their ability to affect you and influence you and make you get in the box and conform to the standards, they lose power.
Yes.
And then you gain power.
That's right.
Because now you're living and walking in your truth.
Right. Because the first thing that they realize is that you were scared of the God in you. So once they saw that, they knew, oh my God, this is a vessel now that can be manipulated. Because since you fear the God in you, I now can take the power of God away from you because you have not yet claimed it. And if I get my power of God plus your power of God, then I become all powerful. The second you realize and the second you accept yourself as God, anybody's encroachment upon you becomes laughable.
Right.
You don't even have to entertain it.
Absolutely. And you know what? That's why it's so important for our community to stick together. But let me go off the book. Why is it within our community we hate each other and fight each other so much, in your opinion?
In my opinion, very simply, it is because we are angry that we are angry that we were ever captured. Right? It stems all in that.
Okay.
That I cannot believe we allowed this to happen to ourselves. And in doing that, we have subconsciously believed that anyone who was able to do the capturing, they must have been superior.
Yes.
There it is. There it is.
But it's not true. And the reason it's not true is because a person's willingness to abuse you does not make them the more powerful person, even if they're able to abuse you. See, the ability to abuse me is a choice to not be like God. And God is so brilliant in humility. You get the choice to be God and you get the choice not to be.
Lord have mercy. This man here.
I know people like, she just saying,
So, okay, so
let me get another one.
But the minute you choose to be God, you're instantly healed too. And so we got to understand that the healing really is one's acceptance that I am God. Because see, if I am God, then automatically everything that happened to me was God ordained.
Lord have mercy.
And so I can forgive mama, I can forgive daddy, I can feel this daddy who was never there for me. What I now understand is that daddy who was never there for me was actually a favor to me. Because had he been there, I actually would have been sidetracked.
And that's why all things work together.
All things work together.
And matter of fact, they said according to God's purpose.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. And God says my ways are not your ways.
Lord have, man, look here. What does
We're not taking no phone calls.
don't do that. What does Ashanti mean? Is it Ashanti?
Ashanti, the people.
Yeah. What does that mean in African proverbs?
David.
What?
David.
David?
Yeah.
Hold on one second. We got a call.
Okay.
Caller, you live on the Livest Talk Show on KWAM 990.
Don't be interrupted now.
David, you got 30 seconds. What's up? You got it? Yes, sir.
Keep it tight, man.
Wow.
Isn't he awesome? Isn't he awesome?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's blowing me away.
Look, make David go online to Amazon and order his book, The Coming.
I was going to say it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Now, I think that's the most insane thing in the world. Because really, I want to suggest that we brought Jesus.
I understand.
Yes, sir. But I do think... Yes. See, what's very important about what you're saying is some people believe that coming to America was a gift because we came to a place of materialism, right? But having more is not being more, right? It is not true that the more we get, the more excellent we are. That is not true at all. In fact, it's true that the more we get, the less spiritually sighted we are.
Lord have mercy.
So this whole notion that we had to come here to meet Jesus, not only is that not true, but people had the notion of a coming Messiah in Africa before folks ever came to Africa. African people had the notion of a Messiah. They just didn't articulate that in English. And where we have to be careful also is to believe that the Bible is the only time God ever spoke. See, that's a trick too. That's absolutely a trick. It's a trick to believe that God only spoke to one group of people on one place of the planet only one time ever in the existence of humanity.
Lord have mercy.
That is not true. God has spoken to every people. Every single group of people. In fact, the way you can know if a people really love themselves, is if they claim any of their own speech as the word of God. If they do not, you have a self-hating people.
Lord have mercy.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yes, sir. I understand. And I'm not staying long. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
We got him, David. We got to get these last 10 minutes in. Thank you for calling, David.
Thank you, brother.
All right. All right, so we're back. So, Dr. Black, we got 10 minutes. What does Ashanti mean?
Well, the Ashanti are a particular group of people.
Okay.
That's an ethnic group.
Okay.
Right? Like there are many, many ethnic groups in Africa. The Ashanti, the Igbo, the Ewe, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
And these different ethnic groups, many of whom didn't even know each other prior to enslavement.
Okay.
The thing that's important about the difference is that when we get on the slave ship, often many of those ethnic groups were thrown into the same ship.
Okay.
So literally, black folks on the same boat. But prior to that historical moment, they didn't speak the same language. They may not have eaten the same foods. They were very different people, although they were all dark skinned.
Mm-hmm.
But now remember, before the slave ships, we don't have concepts of race.
Right.
Right? Concepts of race don't come until sometime thereafter. But the reason this is important is because those of us who are descendants of these people, we are an amalgamation of the Ashanti and the Ewe and the Igbo, etc. On these ships, they traded language, they traded beliefs, they traded concepts, they traded ideas of God, they traded notions of what it meant to survive. And so I don't thank God for slavery. I thank God that we survived it. Because I don't think God created slavery. I do think God created a people who had the ability to survive what no other people on the planet have been able to survive. And if we could understand that, we would understand that there's a blood that's flowing in the veins of African people here that informs a certain kind of survival and that informs a certain kind of spiritual essence, such that nothing that ever comes against us will destroy us. What we got to do is stop fighting silliness and stop fighting useless things. We think it will destroy us. It not only will it not, but it cannot, because what we've been sent to do has been ordained, and it will be done before the end of time.
Lord have mercy. We don't realize how strong we are.
No, we don't know it. We don't know. We picked cotton, raised 12 kids in a 2-bedroom house, and none of them kids went to jail.
And ate pork and survived.
That's right.
Ate the pig from the rooty to the tutti.
Absolutely. Because what makes a person survive, it really has to do with their work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you swallow, it's how you move it.
Lord have mercy. This man here. Wait a minute, let's go back to this one last piece. Let's talk about, like what you just said, God did not only speak through that Bible.
Yes. The Bible is one manifestation, and it is holy. That's no problem.
Absolutely, I'm with that.
Issue, no issue.
I'm with that.
The problem is to think that it's the only thing holy.
Hello?
That's the problem.
I'm with
And to believe that it's the only thing holy also means that the people who wrote this must have a particular divinity that no other people on the planet has, because God spoke to them when God didn't speak to nobody else.
Lord have mercy.
That's perfect oppression.
That is.
That's perfect oppression. And it makes people look towards those people consciously or subconsciously for divine insight. Because seemingly, God will talk to you when God won't talk to anyone else.
Right. Right.
Perfect oppression.
Yep.
You're right.
You got to talk to the Pope.
You're right.
Yeah. We never turn and ask the Native American, what did God say to you?
Right.
Because we believe that if it's not in the Bible, then it ain't so. Mm-hmm. But see, what I tell people all the time, first of all, if God wrote the Bible, most of us couldn't read it.
Hello?
Right. Because God is heavier than King James.
Hello?
I believe that. I do believe that.
How about that? I believe that too.
I believe that. I absolutely believe that.
Wait, Dr. Black, wait a minute. You got like 2 more minutes before we let you promote your book. Come on. Wait a minute, Dr. Black. You done blew me away.
Wow.
God,
yes, sir.
You done blew me away.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness. If those people would have only known what they were doing.
Right. Yeah, on this ship. Absolutely.
What were they thinking when they did us like this?
I think they were dreaming of profit.
Yeah.
They were dreaming of profit. And the truth of the matter is profit and greed has been the destruction of humanity from the beginning of time.
Absolutely.
The problem now, ironically, is that the children of those who were brought here for profit and greed now are the ones who are seeking profit and greed.
Donald Trump.
Assimilation.
Yeah.
And a lot of us as black folks.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know. And what we have to realize and understand is that our greatest inheritance is invisible. Our greatest inheritance is the ability to lay hands on the sick and they be healed.
Absolutely.
Our greatest inheritance is the ability to put our arms around a person and to love depression off of them. Money can't buy that. there's no square footage in a house that is worth the ability to mend another person's heart.
That's good.
And so what I really am trying to do in this book called The Coming is to help us understand that the price African people paid to survive and to live in this place, if we're not careful, we're squandering that inheritance. Because that inheritance was not an inheritance of materiality. It was an inheritance of the clarity that sometimes what we forget is that we're in the same boat. Literally.
Literally.
And if we ever get clear that we're in the same boat, and this is not just a racial thing, we're in the same boat as conscious black, as conscious white, as conscious Native American, as conscious Latino. We're in the same boat as conscious people who seek the development of a world wherein every spirit and every soul can be free. If we get clear that we're all in the same boat, what we can do is navigate this boat differently.
Lord have mercy.
And we need a new navigation now. Race is a played out trope. It is a played out ideology. Race does no good for anybody whatsoever. It is totally played. The thing that we need now is spiritual consciousness.
Absolutely.
So do you believe that we have spiritual players in here to interrupt this?
I do think that. Yes, I do think that. I think there are people whose love is the destruction of consciousness. But meaning, it's very much like, I believe in weeds in a garden.
Oh, yeah.
Weeds come. Mm-hmm. But the truth of the matter that we don't know is, the weed is in the seed. When you plant the seed, you've also planted the weed. Which means we're responsible for both the spiritual consciousness and we're responsible for the ignorance that comes against it.
So we need both.
You have to have both, because sometimes what happens is the ignorance comes simply in order that you might be clear about what you really believe. But we get sidetracked and think we need to fight the ignorance. You don't have to fight the ignorance. The ignorance will dissolve if you simply stand on righteousness.
Lord have mercy. Yes. Well, we're down to 3 minutes of this show, and Dr. Black has...
We want you to go to Amazon.com, hold the book up toward the Facebook.
Absolutely.
And get The Coming.
The Coming.
Or go in the bookstore and get this book.
Yes.
It's worth it. It's worth it. I got pages of it and I've been reading and I'm going to get them like David. I love to read.
I'm getting this. And, The Coming.
We're just so blessed to have you here today and to bless our listeners. My Facebook went out. My phone just crashed. We probably couldn't handle everything that was coming through.
Wow.
But I did take this, and we're on Davian's Facebook Live. If you want to go back and listen, because I'm sure it's going to be buzzing, because I know I'm going to listen to it when I get home.
I'm appreciative. Thank you.
And we love you.
Yes, and I love you all. You know that.
Can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks in Atlanta. I'm going to get some more of this. Because you're doing leadership.
I'm doing leadership.
Yeah, I get some more of this, baby. I have my notepad.
UPC.
Definitely. I want to wish a happy birthday to Kiva, Mrs. Put some speck on it. Kiva Beckton, she's tuning in today. It's her big 45.
Oh, it's her birthday. I saw her this morning at the barbershop.
Yeah, happy birthday. The Becktons over there. They had a beautiful wedding over there at Ansdale Mansion last Sunday. They set the bar real high for those of us. I'm already married. For those of you that's gonna follow in their footsteps, they put it out. I thought I was at Oprah Winfrey wedding last Sunday.
Wow.
It was a beautiful celebration.
I'll have a beer bus for it. So we gotta go. We got a minute.
Okay, so hey, check out our new website, www.tuvmag.com. And once again, thank you, Dr. Daniel Black.
Glad to be here. Absolutely.
Our platform is always open to you. Go ahead, David.
That's it.
Hey, make sure you can pick up your new the magazine too, tuvmag.com. Get your magazine. And The Coming. We'll see you next Saturday. Great show, and we are out.
Thank you.
This is a church member that's rapping.
Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Okay. We went to the studio. We made this about 30 minutes.
I love that. Yes. Thank y'all for having me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she said she wanted to rap. So I said, make us a rap for our radio show.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, you blow me away, you blow us away.
Thank you, brother.
I'm serious about that. I wasted a semester.
What day you say you was trying to get to a telephone?
Yes.
Wow. Thank you.
Wait a minute. Dr. Black.
Man, that's
my brother.
He did it today. He did it. Where are you? There she is in the back.
I'm playing with my new toy.
He did it. The comment.